Welcome back to the Marvel Movie Minute, a daily podcast in which we disassemble a film from the Marvel Cinematic Universe into 1-minute segments and then examine it in obsessive and occasionally hilarious detail. I'm Kyle Olson from the Swashbuckling Ladies Debate Society podcast.
Hey, and I'm Rob Cabasco. And Kyle,
yes,
we also have returning back, our guest Brooke is with us for
gentlemen.
How are you?
I'm lovely. Yourself?
I'm fine. Well, okay, Cheers. So as we begin, these next couple of minutes is going to be interesting, but I wanted to start somewhere, and I'm thinking of the world of full contact combat sports.
Well, why wouldn't you?
And I'm thinking of the knockout. So people know, sometimes abbreviated as KO. It's the ultimate winning move. Well, I mean, it's the ultimate winning move because it renders your opponent unable to continue fighting, and thus end of the fight. So,
what is the difference between a KO and a TKO?
I'm glad you asked that. All right, so technically there are three different kinds of knockouts. There's the knockout, which the opponent is knocked out. There is a thing such as a double knockout, and this it happens a lot in the world of video games. If you're into a video game fighter,
Punch Out,
double knockout, right? Double knockout is both opponents, they simultaneously knock each other out, right? And then that's the end of that. Then there is the technical knockout, sometimes abbreviated as TKO. It is declared when the referee decides during a round that a fighter cannot safely continue the match for any reason. And this sometimes, depending on the league or the company that is the promoter of this, it can be the official attending physician. Sometimes I think there's a couple of places if the fighter is knocked down 3 times in one round, or if a fighter, and this happens a lot in MMA, mixed martial arts, if a fighter cannot intelligently defend him or herself while being repeatedly struck. That's when the referee goes, "You're still standing, but we're done here," because you're about to get permanently injured, and that's the end of that. So technical knockouts are when the referee, or in some other extenuating circumstances, someone steps in and stops the fight.
See, I thought the T stood for total. I thought that was when someone just gets their lights completely shut off.
That's what I thought too.
No, that would be a knockout. Oh,
that's just a straight up knockout. Okay.
Excellent question.
TKO is when he goes like, "I was fine with you getting beaten to a pulp before, but now I've drawn the line."
It's almost like a technicality. So it is the technical knockout is referring to that. If you're wondering what is the fastest knockout ever recorded in professional sports, that would take you back to the Golden Gloves tournament at Minneapolis, Minnesota in the United States of America on November 4th, 1947, when Mike Collins won over Pat Brownson with the first punch, and the contest was stopped 4 seconds after the bell.
4 seconds.
4 seconds, and he was out.
Wow.
There was a whole episode of Sports Night that was around something like this.
Right. Yes.
Where they kept going, "Let's go to the cut man."
Yeah.
Right. And we're going to watch that fight a lot more because it's only 4 seconds long.
We have a whole hour of programming.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, you'd think we'd be talking about this at the start of a Mickey Rourke episode, but oh no.
Oh no.
He is the boxing guy.
He is the boxing guy. That's right.
And because here we are at minute 26 of Iron Man 2 from 2010, directed by Mr. Jon Favreau. And we've come to the actual discussion of this minute, huh? We really have to talk about this.
No, we do, because there's some great stuff in here.
Okay. I think this is probably my least favorite minute. Like, in a series of my least favorite minutes, this is probably my least favorite minute.
So I'm very interested as to why it's your least favorite minute.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to talk about it because we're going to start out with the rampant sexism that we were having last time, because we're still looking at the very, very important to the plot modeling photos. And as we were talking about last time, we also have the continuing of the Tony Stark trying to stoke the jealousy factor, and he says, "Did you model in Tokyo? Because she modeled in Tokyo." Mm-hmm.
And we can see Pepper completely getting annoyed with Tony's angle on this. So yeah, we get it. But now, but here's the thing: like we have this conversation. He's like, he's peppering her with these comments about.
That's what you did there.
modeling in Tokyo. And then here's the next sequence is the scene cuts, and we've got Happy and is it Natalie?
Natalie. We're
as we know her as
Natalie
Natalie.
because that's we know her
Natalie
as so
Rushman.
far.
Natalie
Rushman.
She has been left to fend for herself in the ring here with Happy, who's being a dork, as we've talked about in the previous minute. But here's the only thing you need to know. It happens right here. Happy's garbling on about whatever.
It says rule 1: never take your eye off your opponent.
And he's saying that because she's looking back at Tony, but look at her face. Her face is someone, this is what you're seeing. You're seeing the face of someone that is annoyed that they are not spending every moment right now on their mission.
Yes.
She's looking back at Tony and going, wow, I'm really supposed to be working with him. I need to take care of this dingbell right now and dispatch him as quickly as possible. And that's exactly what she then does.
Yeah, as he throws a sort of like, I wasn't really trying to hit her, but he was like throwing just a casual punch. She it grabs it, turns into an arm guard, and flips it into a Hurricanrana. Yeah. So this is the first time I ever saw this was by a performer named Lita in the WWE.
Yes!
So they referred to it as the Lita Canrana. But I was curious, like, why is it a Hurricanrana? And so I found out. The name was actually taken from a Mexican luchador named Hurrican Ramirez. That was his stage name. I'm not sure that's what they refer to it as in luchador culture. But he actually performer's name was Daniel Garcia Ortega. He was born in 1926. So this was like old time, like real serious luchador wrestling. Unfortunately, he died in 2006, but not before patenting this move. And now everybody who does it is basically calling it that because of Hurrican Ramirez.
That's awesome. Fantastic.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
And so that is not, in fact, our girl Scarlett doing that stunt. No, it is not. That is a magnificent performer named Heidi Moneymaker. Woo! And
by the way, can we just talk about the fact that her name is so perfect?
Yes, and it's real. Like her family are the Moneymakers. Like that's not a stage name.
That's right.
All of her sisters, her parents, like they're the Moneymaker family.
And I have to wonder, has she been in more of the movies than anybody?
In terms of like as a stunt performer?
Yeah. Well,
I do not know because I know that Sam Hargraves is Captain America's double, so he might have done more, but I'm not actually sure.
But she has the benefit that she's small enough.
Yeah.
That she could play multiple people.
And she has. She has doubled for Rachel McAdams, Drew Barrymore, Kerry Russell, Moon Bloodgood, Ruby Rose, and Julianne Moore.
Wait, Moon Bloodgood.
I know. I'm letting the two of you sit and go, why in the world was she Hunger Games?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So I could basically dedicate the rest of these podcasts to Heidi Moneymaker. I think she is fantastic. She's one of the best physical performers around. She does all this great stuff for charity stuff. Her Instagram is fantastic. She like shows herself doing the stunts and actually like behind the scenes and all this stuff
and working out and what she has to do to maintain it.
Yep, and she's big on physical training, so she like has all these stuff to help people get physically fit. There's actually a fantastic story that ESPN did on her and her sisters, actually, because Renee is also in the MCU. She does like Scarlet Witch and some of the other ones that Heidi doesn't do. And it's called The Marvelous Moneymakers. So if you look up that ESPN Marvelous Moneymakers, there's a huge in-depth story about their whole family history and how she got in the business and stuff too. And if you're more of a watcher than a reader, there's a new documentary that just came out called Stunt Women that she is heavily featured in. It's narrated by Michelle Rodriguez, who she also doubled for.
Nice.
Yeah, Heidi Moneymaker is fantastic. And so this was her first day on set. This was like, and so basically, like they brought them in saying, "Hey, we need somebody to do this kind of thing," and she's like, "I can do it." And so they had her do it, and Scarlett's like, "I want her," and basically it's picked her. And there's a lot of negative things you can say about Scarlett. Like, we're not getting any controversy, but like she's made some interesting choices over her career. But one of the things I love about her is that whenever anyone says anything about, man, those stunts, that was fantastic, she is the first person to say Heidi Moneymaker. She is like, she gets right out there. And obviously there's a whole stunt team. There's several people who double for Scarlet Witch, but like Heidi Moneymaker is her number one thing. And she has taken her on every other movie that she's done since then, if she could. And so she's always been the first one to not be those. I hate every time an actor goes, "Oh, I do my own stunts." You don't.
Oh, right.
There's a dedicated team who are better at this than you are who do this. And
Well,
so
except for one.
I give Scarlett.
Well, there's one actor, but we'll talk about that.
So
Wait, is
I
he
always give her a lot of.
Are you talking about the one who's diminutive in height and has questionable religious practices?
Perhaps I'm not going to say anything else.
I don't know what you're talking about because I'm still thinking about Heidi Moneymaker. Yeah. So this was her first stunt on the film, and from then on, like all the awesome stuff she does, like Scarlett does as much as she can, but when she stops, that's where Heidi takes over.
Okay, I just want to say a couple things about this moment because this all happens within a second.
Yeah, within
right?
a second and a half. Yeah.
So what I love is that you've got Natalie looking back at Tony, and she's annoyed, and then as soon as Happy puts his fist out towards her, the expression that Scarlett Johansson gives in the character, I think, is really telling. It's you can see it's instinct. You can see her reaction to take him down is literally just that's exactly what the reaction she's going to give is. It's not going to be there's no restraint. It's you attack me and I'm going to floor you. So I actually think that's a really cool point to kind of give you this little detail of this character to say there's a lot more to this character than what you've been seen, and clearly you've been shown more than you needed to see. But anyway, now second thing I would say.
Oh, go ahead. No. I know you got a second thing.
No, so second thing is, and I love this. We get this is rare, and you wouldn't see it unless, of course, you're looking at a movie minute by minute. We totally see the stunt person. There's 4 or 5 frames that after she's taken him down, full on, they didn't digitally alter it. They did nothing. That's her. That's awesome. You would never have noticed this in the theater watching this.
The way that the wig falls and they styled that wig was very beneficial in this scene.
Yes.
Because, when she's the turn back, when she and all that hair just flies fast, you got to be paying really close attention to not notice that that's not Scarlett Johansson.
Well, and they even tried to use the, again, another Everlast plug here. They even tried to use the ring ropes. They tried to camouflage the person's face as much as they could, and they didn't. And I actually think it's kind of cool they didn't, because it's almost like they nestled it in there for people to say, yeah, here you go. Props to the people making these moments work behind the scenes.
So it is a good stunt. It is well performed. It is cool, and it is so stupid. I hate this. I hate that this is in this movie because this makes her look so lame. Because I read if those of you who've been listening to every episode so far, I read you her entire resume. Did you see anything there about fighting? She just blew her cover. So she blew her cover. There's nothing in her resume that says she has any fighting training at all or would do anything like this. Plus, she just committed assault on a fellow employee in front of her boss. She would be fired so fast. Yes, I am not. No, I'm saying I know it's a Marvel movie, and I know that there's superheroes flying around. I get that there are Asgardian gods, but this is dumb. The Black Widow that we know, and of course, over the next movie develops, would never lose her cool. When have we ever seen her lose her cool on anything? She stood up to an Asgardian god with no fear. She ran away. The only thing that ever scared her was the Hulk. Happy doesn't scare her. So the idea that this let's say heftier dude throwing a weak punch at her would suddenly trigger her as the thing? No way. She would take the punch. That's Natasha.
No.
I don't
defend.
Oh.
Oh, with pleasure. I'm going to tell you exactly what it is. Okay, when she does this, now, I just made the point about her expression. She gives this expression like instinct, right? Obviously, no, she can control her emotions. She can do whatever she needs to do at any moment. She doesn't get to be the character that we will see her be by not being able to deal with Happy Hogan, right? Like being a dork. This is all part of totally bewildering Tony Stark. Her pulling that move to Tony is not just to get his attention as that, oh, I'm a pretty picture or, whatever. I'm a woman who could handle you. And I think that that's part of what this is doing.
When has that ever been Tony's type?
Oh, no, it's not. But he's intrigued. She already knows. She is trying to put out all the hooks because they have a whole dossier on him. This is all based. They did not go in here not knowing what they could do to mess with him, get him hooked, get him all discombobulated, and what you're about to see on play over the next couple seconds and next couple minutes proves it.
So while you guys were having this conversation, I just went back and watched her face.
Yeah.
Because she like turns back. You're right. She's totally annoyed. I want to be over there where the action the action is, because that's where it is. She turns back and her face is it's matter of fact. It's like, I'm going to dispense with this guy with like that. Kyle, do I think you're wrong? No, I don't think you're wrong. I think that I'm reading into this. I'm totally reading into this, but hey, that's what you
part
guys
of the show.
do. I can like put this guy down in a matter of seconds, in a matter of nanoseconds. I can put him down, and then they're not even paying attention. They're not even going to know what's happened. And he's never, ever going to admit that he got bested by her. As he did. As he then is like, I slipped. I'm like, oh, great. So.
Okay, but
anyway, I don't think, I think it's a split. Do I think that she was like, it risked blowing her cover? Yeah, but it's like, what's the fastest way to get rid of a gnat?
I think that is part of it. But then, okay, look at what happens immediately after this. So Happy's knocked down.
Well, first of all, Pepper goes, "Oh my god!"
And
because she
Pepper
just watched,
has
one of her low-level employees take out one of her high-level employees.
Well, I think Pepper's reaction is all summed up in, and she does a great job. By the way, Gwyneth Paltrow does this great because
she does. It's such a great reading.
I mean, it's a wonderful shock of, because what's mixed in there is, oh my God, poor Happy. Oh my God, ha ha, Happy, because you're a dork. Oh my God, the woman I just brought in here just floored you. And oh my God, God. This is a disaster on every level.
We're going to get sued.
Yes. I mean, like, it's got everything mixed into that reaction, which I think is great. And seriously, she delivers it so perfectly. So she does that. Tony's like, his reaction is, whoa. Cool.
New toy.
Yes. I mean, that's
new toy.
It. And then, okay, here's another part of my case here. She immediately gets up, she adjusts herself, she comes through the ropes, gets down, and the first thing she says is, I need your impression.
Mm-hmm. Smooth. I mean, like, no, I'm not out of breath, like, not ruffled at all.
Not a person who has lost their control of themselves at all. This is completely on plan. And what an interesting choice of words, because obviously, let's just see what Tony's reaction is.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah, it's like quiet reserve. You have an old soul.
This was all meant. And then when he does that, look at her reaction, because she immediately she almost gives her, this is where she gives herself away. It's not taking Happy down. She gives herself away because she kind of smiles like, mission accomplished. Like, check. Like, yeah. It's all part of the plan. Right? No. Well, how would you do this? Okay, how would you fix this scene then?
Well, I understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to basically, for those who are not comic book nerds, they're trying to say, this isn't just another pretty face. There's something more to this woman. They're trying to, so it won't be a huge shock later on when she shows up and she's, flipping through the air and, shooting dudes down. But yeah, it's. I think it could have happened like way more subtly, or even had it like that she does something on her own after, like they leave or whatever, and then she, like just basically like a thing like, so we know, but not like everyone in the room knows.
So what, you want to do it where like when she leaves, she forgets her pen, and they've all left the room, and then she like has to acrobat in to avoid like.
Let's say this is off the top of my head. So like say I'm a second draft guy, so. So like, let's say they're like breaking boards or whatever, and then they all leave, and then she's like, as she's by herself, she just kind of like, and then whoosh, like right through the, it's to show that she has these kind of abilities, but without having to do it, or like she does it without them watching. So like she's in there with Happy, they turn away to write on papers. She Hurricanranas him, knocks him down, and then they turn around like, whoa, what just happened? She's like, I don't know, he fell. Because then Happy's not going to admit it because he just got Hurricanrana by a 5'4", whatever. I don't know what her actual height is.
So,
but, this was an inelegant way to establish that there's more to her than a pretty face.
Which, I mean, I think early days of writing the MCU, it was more
Yeah,
inelegant.
and apparently with this movie, writing
Well,
apparently was a very fluid process. We're going to talk more about that as we go along.
So I was watching this scene in the 85 million times I watched it with the subtitles on.
Yeah.
And there are English subtitles. And it said when she's got him in between her legs, which sounds really gross, but whatever.
Yeah.
It says grunting happily. And I was like, first off, that's not what he sounds like. And second, ew.
Well, I mean, it is happy, but yeah, it's.
Oh.
Yeah.
What a happy grunt sounds like.
I think, yeah. I mean,
more than I need to know, Kyle.
I'm okay. Yeah,
we're getting into Tim Allen territory here.
Oh boy. I'm okay with. I think this accomplished a lot of things. It gave Happy a bit of comeuppance. Like, hey, listen, you're out of control. Tone it down. You intrigue Tony. Whatever's going on with Pepper, I think Pepper's just like, oh my God, this is a disaster. Please just let me take control because I'm done. And I think for her, I think it did. It obviously tells the audience there's more to this character. Mm-hmm. Expect the unexpected. I think it all falls in. Now, what happens after this, the conversation does go a different way. We do get Tony's reference to, he calls it TKO, which is the whole reason why we talked about knockouts. Yeah. So he rings the bell.
It literally rings the bell.
Right. And note it's a TKO because it's technical. He's the ref. He's the person who's saying, okay, yeah, you're done. Right. Like finished. And then what happens with Pepper enters the conversation and then things get weird.
Yeah. So then when she's talking about the impression, she says, I meant your fingerprint. So then Tony does the fingerprint, and then basically that's the transfer of power. So he says to Pepper, you're the boss. Like, basically that's it. She's now become the CEO. And like at that moment, that's where it goes. I think, Brooke, you're more of a legal person than I am. Does it have to be like notary or something past the name? But
she watched him do it. I would imagine that he's known to her. I'm actually a notary.
Well, see, there you go. So you are the Natalie Rushman of your office.
Yes, I clearly am the Natalie Rushman of my office.
I've been saying it for years. I'm glad people are trying to catch on to this.
It depends on what the notary rules are for California, but usually you ask for ID, and it's really just witnessing somebody. Notary is just a witness, like a bonded witness. You watch somebody sign something. That's it. So the fact that she just describes her as the notary and not like this assistant.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
right.
And then Natalie says, will that be all, Mr. Stark? And because Tony says no, and Pepper says yes. But now she works for Pepper. So
right. And who does she listen to?
That's right.
Right.
So
all right, so you want to talk about what happens next then, Rob?
Well, we haven't talked about his hair. His hair's very matty. No, I'm kidding. Okay. He looks like he did like 20 years ago too in this scene. Like, I mean, even 15, 20 years before this movie. When you see Robert Downey Jr. with his hair all matted down, it's literally like a different phase of his life. Like, I just thought that was interesting.
It's a Caesar cut? Is that what you're talking about?
Exactly. Yeah, very Caesar. Yeah, exactly.
Very less than zero.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, I'm saying that's Iron Man and Ultron. It's hanging out in L.A. and getting high.
Now, okay, so we're coming to this moment of played for laughs, maybe not great ones. Natalie walks away. Goes right to the shot of Pepper and Tony watching her walk away. He looks to Pepper and says, "I want one," and she says, "No," and then smiles.
Oh, sorry.
Now,
this little something came up in my...
It's not. Here's the deal. I'm not going to defend that saying. I know that's horrible. That's objective. That's objectification. It's horrible, right? It's He's saying it because, again, this is him. He has no filter with Pepper. He'll say whatever he wants with Pepper. And he's saying this specifically to rile her up because the flirting is afoot. This is what's happening here.
Man, I hope she's making that Tim Cook money because no one should have to put up with this.
Well, no, but that's... I have slightly lesser of an issue with this than you do. I have a little bit of an issue because I don't think it's right, but it's Tony Stark.
I don't think, Kyle, you're totally right. It's completely sexist. I want one.
Of course.
It's completely sexist.
Yeah.
There's things though, it's like this is like pretty much This is where he's at his worst.
Yes,
it's where
right.
he's at. It's
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons I have difficulty with these minutes is because I like Tony Stark and I do not like him through most of this movie.
It's because he's very inelegant, and
Yes.
you put it's such an inelegantly written movie, but it is the worst of Tony Stark. It is, I'm dying, I'm this, I'm gonna do everything I can. And she is put in the position of being mom and like corralling him.
Right.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Which is what every woman wants from their,
Right?
proposed partner.
Yeah.
Of course.
Or even their boss, where they have like, oh God, I gotta patch him up and send him back out again.
Right.
Yeah, do you know what though? I work for somebody who could be a little like demanding, and I think, and I said to him once, I go, I get paid to manage your helplessness. I do.
This is life.
I know this is life. It's like I get paid to manage that, and then she's paid. She's wearing Louboutins. Like those shoes are not cheap. The shoes she's wearing are. There's a very luxurious look to her that I love. You guys don't really talk about her clothes. I don't think
We don't.
too much.
Yeah. 'Cause I even in the. Let's keep talking. I have actually a visual reference for this.
Right. She looks amazing. Gwyneth always looks amazing because it's probably written into her contract that she has to be dressed a certain way.
I would imagine.
But like she's sitting there, and it's like you could tell that skirt was probably like $1,000 skirt, and there's like a very couture look to her. So
in the Marvel Studios Visual Dictionary, Pepper Potts has her own page. I will show it to my fellow podcasters here.
Oh,
okay.
And that's the opposite.
So in it, the thing about this is from DK. So DK's big thing is they'll take a picture and then they'll point out things on it. So on her, it says from the top, Pepper's outfit reflects keen professional fashion sense.
Hey.
Her belt is from a trendy Malibu boutique. And her ring was a gift from her grandmother.
Oh, that's nice.
And that's the readout on Pepper.
wow, that hurts me.
Oh boy.
The text is all basically just like summarizing the plot of the first movie, this movie, and then the one that follows it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, she puts up
And
with
then
a
she's
lot.
allergic
She
to
gets
strawberries.
That's true, and she's paid handsomely to do so.
Yes, but money isn't everything.
It's not everything. And she's the one that has poor boundaries. I don't.
True. Very true. But let's leave all this California nonsense behind and go international because we're going to Monaco.
Oh!
Woo! Scene transition. So the music here is actually a track called Monaco. It's written by John O'Brien, who did the supplemental music for this. Anything that's not John Debney was him. Oh. And if you can find where to buy it, I would love to because it has apparently disappeared from the internet. So
I wonder why.
I don't know. Rights? I don't know. I found the Declinator has done some remixes for other people, but I could not find a page for him or a location on iTunes, Amazon Music, the Mixcloud. I mean, like I went all around. I could not find it. So if you can find it, post it on one of our social things because I would really like to give them a couple of dollars because this track is a banger.
God, are you wearing dad jeans?
What is the deal? I mean, like, you lost me at that. I was like, I mean, it's cool. It's a banger, all right?
This is a banger.
It's a banger.
A banger.
Yeah. I'm telling you, it's what the kids are saying nowadays. I have a teenager. No.
Yeah, this is right, exactly. So we get this, and if you listen to the previous season of Marvel Movie Minute, we're big fans of these great sweeping pan shots. Yes. And this is a wonderful one. And this one is the classic Monaco shot. I mean, I had deja vu moment here of Cars 2. When they do their global race and Pixar rendered this shot almost exactly.
And there's a lot less wasabi jokes in Iron Man 2 than there were in Cars 2.
Maybe that would have
helped
it for you.
And a lot less, overt American racism.
Well,
so,
I mean, jeez. Oh, there's gonna be a Mater. There's gonna be a Mater comment right there.
Get her done.
Ew.
Right?
Ew.
Dude. There's nothing good. It's all bad because if you're gonna be a rich a-hole, where better than in the Principality of Monaco?
I mean, maybe Macau, but okay, we'll go with Monaco.
No, Monaco when you learn a little bit about it, and I don't think people know
and we
enough.
have learned a bit doing this, and
gosh.
wow,
unbelievable. And the biggest thing that got to me is, okay, this is along the French Riviera. So Monaco, the Principality, as you just said, which is its formal name, this is on the coast, the southeast corner coast of France, and it's bordered by France on all three sides, and then the Mediterranean Sea on the fourth side. Do you know what the size of Monaco is?
Isn't it like basically the size of Phoenix?
It's 499 acres.
So smaller than Phoenix.
Yeah, it's home to 38,682 people.
I do remember from high school somebody doing a report on Monaco, and they said that the literacy rate was like 99.999%, and they said that 0.1 is probably some guy on the beach named Claude. I mean,
who just happened to wander in from one of the others
from France. Yeah. He wandered in from France, and there he is. Like,
because and of those 38,000 people, 30% of them are millionaires because this is a huge tax haven.
Tax break,
So rich people come here and they basically hide their money so that they can't get taxed anywhere else. Only the Vatican is a smaller sovereign state, than Monaco,
and probably still richer.
Yeah, well, actually, that too.
So, when that swoopy shot comes over and you see like the yachts and everything, and and by the way, my context of Monaco, when you talked about cars, is that I used to race, not Grand Theft Auto, but like Grand Prix on the old PlayStation.
Yeah, sure.
That was one of the hardest courses because it's city streets.
Yeah. It's all very loopy-turny. Yeah.
Right. So
good.
No, but I'll tell you what I was thinking of when it's coming over, that panning in that shot, is Cecily Strong from SNL. Mm-hmm. And Vanessa Bayer, they would do that thing towards the end of the show where they're the two porn stars that are trying to like luxury.
Yeah.
Opulence.
That is literally it. Yeah.
Class.
So what I think I always find fascinating about them is that basically they're dedicated to everything staying exactly as it is. And how deep does that go? It goes all the way to their national anthem. Their national anthem is called the Hymn Monégasque. And this is how it goes. I'm not going to sing it. I'm just going to read it as if it's a poem. So feel free to throw some patriotic French music behind this. Forever in our land, one flag has flown in the wind. Forever the colors red and white have symbolized our liberty. Adults and children have always respected them. We have perpetuated the same traditions. We celebrate the same religion. We have the honor to always have had the same princes. And nothing will change. As long as the sun shines, God will always help us, and nothing will change. Doesn't that just stir your heart?
I just started like as written by Mao. I mean,
right? It really is just like, it's millionaires in lockstep.
No, I just want to say something. I mean,
and our tax rates shall never change.
Well, because really what that is saying is that we have all the money.
Uh-huh.
We're going to keep all the money.
Mm-hmm.
Keep your hands off all our money.
That's right.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to be invited to the Comic-Con that takes place in Monaco.
No, I don't
think so. Can you imagine how great that is?
Oh, it'd be incredible. But yeah, it's not going to happen.
And on that sweeping shot, that is where our minute comes to an end.
Oh.
I know. I was so sad.
I know.
Because I was like, I wanted to see like little boutiques and little beasts or like little places where I could go in and buy stuff. Hey, do you guys know where I can buy stuff?
As a matter of fact, we do. Since we're talking about accumulating wealth, help us accumulate some wealth and buy some merch from us. Go to nextwheel.com/merch and you can buy all sorts of things with our logos and names and faces plastered all over it. We got cups, we got stickers, we got masks. You buy a mask and we'll donate a mask. It's a great cause. Pillows, whatever you want. If you want to buy it, by God, we'll sell it to you because we are shameless.
And also, I mean, let me just say, for us to be wealthy, all of you listening to this for a period of 12 months would need to buy 25,000 of each one of the things we sell for us to become wealthy.
So our fundraiser to get us to Monaco has begun.
All right.
And by Monaco, we mean Monaco Street in Chandler.
Our 100-year telethon begins now.
So that brings us to the end of minute 26. Minute 27, I think we're actually going to explore a little bit of what I've been told is the beautiful, luxurious town of Monaco. And we'll see where we go from there. So thank you all for listening. Make sure you stay subscribed. Enough said.
Bye.